Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video, and as you can tell by the title, this is going to be my non-spoiler review for Wonder Woman, the newest addition to the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe, the DC Cinematic Universe, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sorry if the camera should be alright, the audio might be a bit dodgy, my microphone's not working, so I'm going to have to use my inbuilt laptop microphone for it, so sorry about that, but we're just going to have to deal with that, aren't we? So as I said, this is a non-spoiler review. I won't be doing a spoiler-filled review at all. I just want to give my overall non-spoiler thoughts and just what I thought of the movie overall. If you haven't seen the movie, feel free to leave what you thought of it in the comments below, because there have been fan screenings and stuff like that, or if you went to an early screening like I did, yeah, leave what you thought of it in the comment section below, without spoiling the movie, obviously, so non-spoiler thoughts would be awesome. Just whether you like the movie, I guess. And if you are going to see the movie, you know, in the next couple of days when it finally does come out, let me know what you're looking forward to the most. Now, before anyone goes, oh, Paige, man, how the hell did you see the movie early? Just like with Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, I went to an early screening. They gave us like this Wonder Woman pin, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they also gave us something I wasn't expecting. They gave us a Wonder Woman pop, which is actually pretty damn cool. And that they gave us, sorry, I had to look at it again. I thought there was something weird on it. And they gave us a Steve Trevor pop. So they gave us 2 Pop Funkos, which I wasn't expecting. That was so random but awesome at the same time. But yeah, that's just insane. But the general plot of this movie is really learning how Diana, or Wonder Woman, went from just being Diana on Themyscira to being the Wonder Woman that we saw in Batman v Superman and that we're later going to see this year in Justice League. Now, this isn't really spoiler, but what we see at the end of the movie isn't necessarily the Wonder Woman we see in BVS, but it's a massive step towards that from what we see with her at the beginning of the movie. And it just really gets you excited for what they could do with the character going forward. Because I think they said Wonder Woman 2 definitely will happen. And it'd be very interesting to see where that is placed. You would have to think it would be placed like maybe in present day. But we're not talking about Wonder Woman 2. This is about Wonder Woman 1, the movie that's about to come out in a couple of days. But yeah, as I said, the plot is basically the origin story of Diana. How she went from Diana from Themyscira to being Wonder Woman and everything in between. And they do it really well. Like, I think a lot of people do have hesitations when it comes to origin movies now, or origin stories. Like, they do follow like they're very formulaic. They follow that formula, very cliche in certain areas. But this was very interesting. I think a lot of people are very much going to enjoy this movie. I'd be very surprised if anyone comes out of this movie going, oh, I was bored watching that. Oh, that was so cliche in so many areas. Oh, this was shit. I'd be very surprised if that's the case, because I think this, I can't say certain things because it's spoiler, but this movie appeals to a lot of things. Like, it has comedy. There's so much comedy in this movie without being too much. Like, they really know when to place it in, use certain characters to portray that comedy, but then use, like, you know, just your main cast as well to portray comedy as well. And I think they do a really good job of, like, balancing it and not making it seem like, oh, there's way too many jokes. Like, I think one of the issues with Guardians, I know I'm bringing another movie in, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, they went for a bit too many jokes, and some people didn't like that. So Wonder Woman sort of does balance that out. Like, there could have been areas where they could have gone, oh, maybe that's a bit too many jokes, but they sort of kept it balanced and used the right characters to, you know, bring those jokes out while keeping the main cast sort of funny at the same time as well. Themyscira was just beautiful watching Themyscira. I know there was people next to me that were making comments like, oh, that CGI doesn't look very good. You really have to nitpick. Like, I think I'm very interested to see what it looks like on IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX. I just saw it in, like, general cinema, whatever, CinemaScope or whatever they call it. I'd be very interested to see what it looks like on IMAX. It might look better. It could look worse. I can understand there were some scenes where there's a lot of stuff happening at the same time, and they're trying to keep, like, this beautiful scenery in there as well. And I can understand why it does look a bit dodgy, but you really have to, like, scope it out, like, eagle eye it, and ignore everything that else is happening. Like, that's the main thing, and there could be something happening over there, and that's what the person's focusing on. Like, that's the main stuff over there, dude. You should be looking at that, not that random bird or person jumping into a tree. Like, that's not the main thing. That's the main thing. So, some things can be a bit dodgy in regards to the CGI, but it's really, you've got to, like, sort of eagle eye it out and nitpick at the same time. So, it's not that much of an issue. Now, obviously, the movie's called Wonder Woman, so who plays Wonder Woman? It's Gal Gadot, and she does a really good job at carrying this movie. Like, there is you see in the trailers, there's a young Diana when she's very young, and then there's, like, a teenage Diana, maybe around, like, 15. I can't remember if they say her age. They might just be forgetting it at the moment, but you see, like, a teenage Diana But Gal Gadot as Diana is basically in like what 90 to 95% of the movie, which she should. The movie is called Wonder Woman, and she carries the movie. She does a really good job. Any hesitation from people or like skepticism, well, not skepticism, but like like premature criticism. That's probably the best way to put it. I think a lot of people are going to be like, shut up after seeing this movie, and I think she does a really good job. I'm very excited to see what she's like in Justice League, and yeah, I'm just very excited to see what they do with the character and what she does with the character, because in BVS she played a completely different character than what we see in here, and that's an important thing to remember. A lot of people might think, oh, that's inconsistent with see with the character. No, that's Wonder Woman in 2016. This is Wonder Woman in 1917, 1918, like in World War One. They're very different, and she's innocent. She's innocent on Themyscira, and then she, makes that journey to being Wonder Woman, which we see by the end of the movie. But you got to realize these are two different characters. Like, fair enough if you compare the Justice League one to the BVS one, but these two that we see in this movie and BVS are completely different. That's a very important thing to remember. So when you count that in, I think she does a very good job. And when you watch the movie, you'll understand. And there's certain moments, there's certain moments in this movie that are very reminiscent of like the BVS one scene from BVS. When I think Doomsday, I don't think he hits her with his like laser beams. I think he just punches her or knocks her away, and she like regains herself and then looks up and then like smirks at him. There's scenes like this in this movie where like she says stuff or like she presents or like represents stuff or like emotes stuff without actually saying anything. And I think that's something that Gal Gadot seems to do very well with the Wonder Woman character. It's actually really cool to see in this movie. Now, Wonder Woman obviously has a supporting character in this movie in the form of Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, and he does a really good job. Don't really want to talk too much about him because it could go into some spoilers, but yeah, I think he just does a really good job. I knew he was going to do a good job. Chris Pine's a really good actor. He's a very reliable actor. You don't really see him get like trashed on too much, so I think we all knew that this was a very good move by DC to have him in the movie as not necessarily the main character, but as a character that could strengthen up the ship, if that makes sense. And I think he just does a really good job without going into too much spoilers, because it's Steve Trevor. Like, he's a pretty basic character, but he's a very important character to Diana or Wonder Woman. Now, we'll quickly talk about Patty Jenkins, who directs this movie. I think she does a really good job. I don't know if it's true, but I've read somewhere there that she's very interested in staying on as Wonder Woman 2, or they think she will do Wonder Woman 2 whenever that decides to get released. I think that might be set in modern day if they do that, so that would be very interesting to see how she would take the elements from this movie, which was set in World War One, and try and do a present day version of Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 2. That'd be very interesting to see take place. But yeah, she does a very good job. The movie looks really good. It's directed very well. The movie is just the story is really good as well. Zack Snyder helped with that as well. It's just really well done all round. Sorry. And speaking about well done, we also have some villains or antagonists. Now, I'm not going to go through them. Obviously, there's more than one without saying anything. And I think they fit them really well into the story. That's one thing I was sort of worried about was the villains, because I was like, okay, there's more than one. This could be a bit, shifty, not shifty, but it could be a bit messy. I think they do a really good job. They fit into the setting of World War One. And I was actually very, very impressed. And there's certain things that happen without spoiling where I'm like, oh, okay, that was a good move. Wasn't expecting that. Certain things happen there. Some really cool fights and stuff like that. They just do a really good job, and I'm just really happy for it, because this is going to be a movie where I think the majority of people are going to enjoy it, even though I've enjoyed all the DC movies as well, some more than others, but I've enjoyed them all for the most part. And this is just going to be a movie where I know the majority of people that go see it are going to be like, this is amazing, give me more. And I'm just happy to see that. But overall, as said then, I do like all the DC movies. If I had to rank them, without Wonder Woman, it would be BVS, Man of Steel, then Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman, I've only seen it once, obviously. I've seen BVS a countless amount of times, so I think I'll have to see Wonder Woman more to see if it could get past BVS, but I really love BVS. Hate on me if you want in the comments, but I think once I see Wonder Woman a couple more times, it could go above BVS, but I think for the majority of people that go see this movie, it'll definitely be their favourite DC film, just because of the way it does stuff, just the content within the actual film. And yeah, I wish I could say some stuff, but it's spoilers. I just really want everyone to go watch it and experience it for themselves. And I'm just giving you sort of like some groundwork on what I think of it and what you should expect going into it without spoiling the actual movie. So hopefully you understand why I'm not going into spoilers and stuff like that. But yeah, this movie is really fun. everyone then in the screening seemed to enjoy it. The person, my friend I was with, said she heard someone in front of her trashing the, well, maybe not trashing the movie, but sort of like whinging about the movie. And I was like, well, she's probably just whinging for the sake of whinging, because you get people like that. So, but a lot of everyone else around me seemed to be having a really good time. People were laughing. They did the comedy really well, as I said. And yeah, definitely go see it. And as I said, if you did see the movie or you have seen the movie, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below, without spoilers, obviously. And if you haven't seen it and you are going to see it later this week or something, let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to the most. That'll be interesting to see what everyone's looking forward to the most before they actually get in there. Because when I was going into seeing it, I just wanted to see Wonder Woman, how they did it, and I was actually very impressed, and I was very satisfied once actually leaving the cinema. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, it'd be awesome if you could leave a like. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And as I said, if you've seen the movie, leave your non-spoiler thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you haven't seen the movie, just let me know what you're looking forward to the most in the actual movie, going by the trailers and stuff, and maybe some stuff that you've heard from people that have seen the movie as well. But until the next video, guys, I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.